The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a golden glow over the quaint seaside town of Willowbrook. The air was thick with the scent of salt and blooming jasmine, a perfect backdrop for the unusual union about to take place. At the heart of it all was Tina, an elegant 80-year-old woman with silver hair that shimmered like moonlight and eyes that held the wisdom of a lifetime. She stood at the altar, her hands trembling slightly as she clutched a bouquet of white roses. Beside her, Henry, a youthful 25-year-old man with tousled brown hair and a nervous smile, fidgeted with the cuffs of his tailored suit. The age gap between them was undeniable, but the love in their eyes was unmistakable. The guests murmured among themselves, a mix of curiosity and skepticism etched on their faces. Tina's family, though supportive, couldn't help but wonder. What had drawn her to someone so much younger? Henry's friends, on the other hand, whispered jokes about hitting the jackpot, their laughter tinged with envy. Yet, as the ceremony began, the whispers faded, replaced by the soothing melody of a string quartet. The officiant's voice was steady and warm as he spoke of love transcending age, of hearts connecting across generations. Tina's gaze never left Henry's as she recited her vows. Her voice, though soft, carried a strength that silenced the room. Henry, you've brought a light into my life I thought I'd never see again. You've reminded me that love knows no bounds, no timelines. I promise to cherish you, to laugh with you, and to grow with you, no matter what the future holds. Her words were simple yet profound, and tears glistened in her eyes as she finished. Henry's turn came next, his voice cracking slightly with emotion. Tina, you've shown me what it means to truly live. With you, I've found a piece I never knew I was missing. I promise to be your partner, your confidant, and your greatest supporter. I'll love you fiercely every day for the rest of our lives. He slipped the ring onto her finger, a delicate band of platinum and diamonds that sparkled in the fading light. As the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, the room erupted in applause. Tina and Henry shared a kiss, tender yet passionate, their love a beacon in the dimly lit chapel. But as they turned to face their guests, the weight of their decision settled over them like a shadow. The whispers returned, louder now, and the smiles on some faces seemed forced. Tina's granddaughter Emily approached with a tight smile. "Congratulations, Grandma," she said, her tone polite but distant. "I just hope you know what you're doing." Henry's best friend, Jake, clapped him on the back, his grin wide but his eyes skeptical. "Dude, you've officially won at life. But seriously, how's this gonna work? You're practically from different centuries." Henry laughed, but there was an edge to it, a hint of unease beneath the surface. The reception was held at Tina's seaside estate, a sprawling mansion with floor-to-ceiling windows that overlooked the crashing waves. The atmosphere was festive, with twinkling lights and a lavish spread of food and drink. Yet, beneath the veneer of celebration, tensions simmered. Tina's friends, women her age with dyed hair and Botox-smooth skin, exchanged knowing glances as they sipped champagne. Henry's peers, on the other hand, seemed more interested in the open bar than in mingling with the older crowd. As the night wore on, Tina found herself on the balcony, the cool sea breeze playing with the hem of her gown. Henry joined her, his hand brushing hers as he leaned against the railing. "Are you okay?" he asked, his voice gentle. "You seem distant." Tina sighed, her gaze fixed on the horizon. "It's just, this is all so surreal. I never imagined I'd be starting over at my age, especially with someone as young as you. Sometimes I wonder if I'm being selfish, if I'm holding you back from living your life." Henry turned to her, his eyes intense. "Tina, you're not holding me back. You're giving me a life I never knew I wanted. Age doesn't matter when it comes to love. What matters is how we feel, how we treat each other. And I've never felt more alive than I do with you." She smiled, her heart swelling with gratitude. "You're too good to be true, Henry. I just hope I can give you everything you deserve." Inside, the band struck up a slow song and Henry took her hand. "Come dance with me," he said, pulling her gently toward the music. As they moved across the dance floor, their bodies in perfect sync, Tina felt a sense of peace wash over her. For a moment, the whispers, the doubts, the judgments, they all faded away. It was just her and Henry, two souls connected by a love that defied explanation. But as the night drew to a close, reality crept back in. Emily approached them again, her expression concerned. "Grandma, can I talk to you for a minute?" Tina nodded, and they stepped aside, leaving Henry to mingle with his friends. "I just want you to be happy," Emily began, her voice soft but firm. "But Henry, he's so young. What happens when you can't keep up with him? What happens when he realizes he wants different things?" Tina's heart ached at the question, but she forced a smile. "I don't know, Emily. All I know is that I love him and he loves me. We'll figure it out as we go." Emily sighed, her worry evident. "I hope so, Grandma. I really do." As the guests began to leave, Tina and Henry stood at the door, bidding them farewell. The night air was cool, and Tina shivered slightly as she wrapped her shawl tighter around her shoulders. Henry noticed and draped his jacket over her, his touch warm and reassuring. "Ready to go home?" he asked, his voice low. Tina nodded, her hand slipping into his. "Yes, home sounds perfect." They walked hand in hand to the waiting car, the moon casting a silvery glow over the path. Inside the mansion, the remnants of the celebration lay scattered, empty glasses, wilted flowers, and the faint echo of music. But as they drove away, the silence between them was comfortable, filled with unspoken promises and quiet hope. Back at the estate, they stood on the balcony once more, the ocean stretching endlessly before them. Henry turned to Tina, his eyes searching hers. "Do you ever wonder what people will say about us?" he asked, his voice tinged with uncertainty. Tina smiled, her hand resting on his cheek. "Of course I do. But Henry, what people say doesn't matter. What matters is us, here, now. The rest is just noise." He pulled her close, his arms wrapping around her like a shield. "You're right," he whispered, his breath warm against her ear. "It's just us." And in that moment, as the waves crashed against the shore and the stars twinkled above, it was enough. But as they stood there, lost in each other, the question lingered, unspoken yet ever present. Could their love truly withstand the test of time, or was it destined to crumble under the weight of their differences? The night offered no answers, only the endless rhythm of the sea and the promise of a future yet to be written.